Hello everybody. For our first practical scenario with advanced GNS3 features, I want to practice with you some switching concepts via IOU devices. Concepts such as VLANs, VTP, trunking, and Ether channel. We would practice these four concepts together. I'm sure all of you knows about the commands and just we want to practice with IOU these configurations. Let's start our today's mission. We start our scenario step by step. First of all, I put an IOU switch here and rename it to switch 1. Okay, and put two VPCs. VPCs or virtual PC simulator is another advanced feature of GNS3 that you could emulate PCs via QEMU. You could use up to 9 PCs via VPC. Now I want to use 4 of them. First 2 in one network and next 2 others in another network. If you want to start VPCs, first you have to connect them to your switch. So I connect my PC1 Ethernet 0 to Ethernet 0/0 of switch and PC2 to Ethernet 1/0 of the switch. Now I start my VPCs and switch, and I want to show you the command prompt of these PCs. Assigning the IP address to these PCs is in this format. First, you have to issue the IP command, and next the IP address. I want to assign 192.168.1.1 for the IP address. Next, you could assign the gateway IP address to this PC, 192.168.1.254. And finally, you have to set the number of subnet mask once, which is 24 for my IP address. If you enter here, PC will checking for duplicate addresses and assign the IP address. You could see the IP address here, PC1 192.168.1.1, but next time if you again refer to this PC, you may not see this message, and if you want to see the configurations, you could issue the show command and the output will show you the IP address. As you could see, you could assign the IPv6 to, again with IP command and again with this structure. IP, but this time IPv6 address, the gateway and the prefix length. Now my PC has an IP address. So I go to PC2 and assign another IP address in my next IP range, which is 192.168.2.1. and assign 192.168.2.254. You could ignore the gateway and only here say the subnet mask and press enter. You will see that if I issue the show command, the gateway is 4 zeros because I don't assign the gateway address. But I want to do that and assign the IP address of 192.168.2.254. Now let's check again our IP configuration. Everything is okay. Now I go to switch 1, clear my screen, and first I want to define my 2 VLANs. So I issue the command VLAN 2, assign a name to my VLAN, for example IT. I define another VLAN, VLAN 3. I assign the name, for example, ACC for our accounting department. We have 2 VLANs here. Let's see with show VLAN brief command, show VLAN brief. You see that we have 2 VLANs, but we do not assign any interface yet. So we check our interfaces. Let's see. Okay, I put it here and go to global configuration mode, interface Ethernet 0/0 and assign it to switch port access VLAN 2. I assign this interface to VLAN 2 and interface Ethernet 1/0 switch port access VLAN 3. Now if we check our VLANs again, show VLAN brief, you see that this time Ethernet 0/0 and 1/0 are assigned to these two VLANs. Now I want to assign an IP address to my interface VLANs. So I go to interface VLAN to assign the IP address 192.168.1.254, subnet mask 255.255.0, and no shutdown, and interface VLAN 3 IP address 192.168.2.254 and 255.255.255, and no shutdown. Now I expect each PC sees its own IP address of interface VLANs. In PC1 I have to ping 192.168.1.254. The communication is okay, as you could see. And in PC2 I have to ping 192.168.2.254, and the connection between these two interfaces are okay too. These PCs are in two VLANs, but since we assigned the gateway to our interface VLANs, and now if I issue the command show IP route here, you will see that two network ranges are directly connected. So PC1 should ping PC2 with the IP address. As you could see, this switch acts as our default gateway, and our two PCs could ping each other. Next, in our scenario, we want to practice Ether channel and VTP configurations. So I put another switch here, name it switch 2, and put two other virtual PCs here, PC3 and PC4. Connect these two the same as other side, Ethernet 0/0 and 1/0. Start our devices. Start my switch to PC3 and PC4. Now let's see the console of our devices. In PC3, I want to assign IP address with IP 192.168.1.2 in the same range as the PC1. 192.168.2.254, and not the same. Oh yes, that's right. I'm sorry. 1.255.254. And in PC4, I assigned the IP of 192.168.2.2, 192.168.2.254, and 24. I don't want to assign these PCs to the related VLANs because first I want to ask VTP to send VLANs to switch 2. So first I go to configurations. I select interface Ethernet 3/2 and 3/3 for Ether channel and trunk it, and use VTP for transferring the VLAN's definition to switch 2. So first I select my interfaces, interface range Ethernet 3/2 and 3, and now I want to Ether channel these two interfaces, channel group 1 mode on, and then switch port trunk encapsulation .1q and switch port trunk switch port mode trunk in switch 1, And in switch 2 again, I go to interface range Ethernet 3/2 and 3 channel group 1 mode on, and switch port trunk encapsulation .1q and switch port mode trunk. I trunk these two interfaces together. And next, let's do our VTP configurations. I assign the VTP domain name Udemy, for example. I assign VTP version 2. And in switch 1, let's do the same configurations. VTP domain Udemy and VTP version 2. Now let's connect our two interfaces between these two switches, Ethernet 3/2 and Ethernet 3/3. First, let's do some checks. First of all, I want to see that my Ether channel is up and ready to use, so I issue the command show Ether channel summary. As you could see, port channel 1 is okay, and Ethernet 3/2 and Ethernet 3/3 are all bundled in the port channel in switch 1. And in switch 2, show Ether channel summary, and you see everything is okay here too. Let's check another thing, which is our trunk with show interfaces trunk. As you could see, our port channel 1 is in trunking mode. The native VLAN is 1. Allowed VLANs are from 1 to 4094, and VLANs that have been seen in this trunk is VLAN 1 through VLAN 3. And the next command is show VTP status. As you could see, we have 7 VLANs here. We have not yet defined two last VLANs, VLAN 2 and VLAN 3 in switch 2, but now I expect VTP to transfer these two VLAN definitions in switch 2 as well. So I issue show VTP status, and we see that we do not have two VLANs yet. So something wrong's happen. VTP domain is Udemy, VTP version is 2. Here is Udemy and VTP version 2. We have trunk interfaces. Everything seems to be okay, but let's change our VTP modes. VTP mode client. There's no difference between server and client mode. I expect, since the revision number is 1 here and the revision number is 3 here, I expect VTP to transfer the VLANs. Again, show VTP status. Oh, everything seems to be okay. We have two VLANs now in switch 2. If you see that, I haven't defined VLAN 2 and 3 in switch 2, but we have them because of VTP. Maybe I could say that this is emulation problems. In real world, there is no need to change your VTP mode from server to client. Everything between two switches that have VTP connections are done via this configuration revision. And if one of our switches has the upper configuration revisions, the VTP messages are imported to the other switch, and all of our switches must have the same configuration revision as now. You see that here we have two configuration revisions and both are the same. Show VTP status, and it is 3 in both switches. Now in switch 2, I could assign my interfaces to the related VLANs. So I go to interface Ethernet 0/0 and switch port access VLAN 2 interface Ethernet 1/0 and switch port access VLAN 3. Now expect PCs could see each other. PC1 should ping 192.168.1.2, which is okay, and PC2 should see 192.168.2.2, which is its peer in other network. You see that we have two VLANs here and here and here and here. We have spreaded VLANs. We do ether channel here. We trunk these interfaces and send different VLANs traffics on this trunk port. As you could see, GNS3 is very reflexive, and you could practice all of your exam related scenarios or practical scenarios in GNS3 for switching. Okay, in this lecture we learn how to use GNS3 IOU switches for practicing ether channel, trunking, VLANs, and VTP. I hope this lecture helps you to improve your knowledge, and see you in the next lecture.